Okay, hi guys, what I've got for you today is, just came today in the post, nice big parcel. This is going to be a quick unboxing followed by a build video and then some demonstrations of. It's a 3D printer, came from gearbest.com, took about 2 weeks. It just came literally 10 minutes ago, so I'm going to do a quick video unboxing it, show you what's inside, and then I'll do a further video assembling it, and then another video printing some things out. So see, the box has been damaged, that's what it came like, but it doesn't look like it's damaged anything inside, so I'm happy with that. We're going to get it open, have a look. The price I paid for this, £126 on one of those deals for so many days. You've got to build it yourself, obviously. I watched a few videos and I think I can do it. Should be okay. I'm just going to open this quick, have a quick look in here and see what it's all about. In your pocket. I'm really excited about this build because I've always wanted a 3D printer. I've always been out with my, well, they've always been just too expensive for what I wanted to pay for them, because I've never really needed one to do anything. So I'm thinking, why spend money on a printer when you haven't got nothing to print? So now the price has came down, I couldn't resist it. So I'm just going to flip this over. Because actually that's the way you open it. Can't see no damage on the box apart from a bit there, so just be careful when you're cutting through any boxes. I use my finger as a bit of a gauge so you can go all the way through. Just check the camera, make sure you can see everything. Yep. So first thing on the top is the delivery list. Just with my details on, I'm just saying it's an Anet A8 high accuracy desktop 3D printer with a wall charger socket, and there's a socket there. It's one of those ones you plug in. I'll probably change loads of these things, so it comes with one of those. I'm in the UK, so it comes with one of those and a universal type socket. And it looks like, what I'll do is I'll just cut these straps first. Okay, just check the video. Okay, there's the first layer. And what I'm doing is I'm just checking for any damage as I go along and make sure everything's here, so if it isn't, you can get in touch with the company, pop them out. Straps. Okay, so it looks like it's been packaged quite well. You see that on the video. So it looks like there's the bed plate, aluminium, 5mm thick or so. Loads of polystyrene all over the place, which I hate. Absolutely hate that stuff. And then we've got some instruction for the main board. See that? Instruction for the main board. Tells you where everything gets plugged into, basically. Fan. So the main fan, you've got another fan for the coolant, hotbed, extruder, power supply, thermistor, X, Y and Z and so on, SD card. Oh, I've got a USB cable on that one as well. LCD screen into there. And then you've got more connectors at the top. So obviously you need that. And then, oh God, I hate, horrible, static. Oh wow, so there's the bed. Get the over out. See that? So that's a hotbed. So that's the printable area you can do. 250mm by 250mm. It's about, I'm guessing about 8mm thick aluminium, and that's stuck on. That's the heat, so it goes that way obviously. And they've stuck this tape on. What I'm going to do is get some glass, nice sheet of glass, which I've already got some tempered glass, and that's going to go on there. So that looks okay. And you've got sensors here. Looks like a temperature sensor there and so on. So that's the bed. And it looks like they give us some tools as well, guys. So you've got some edge cutters. I've just bought a set of these as well. So it's nice that they've given you some tools. A couple of Allen keys, 3 Allen keys, spanner, screwdriver, and another screwdriver as well. That's quite nice. Some cables and a bag of nuts and bolts, screws, washers. I'll check them out later on. Again, this is a quick part. Oh, here is a little bit of filament. Luckily I've just bought 5 rolls of different colours. I've bought PLA, kilo. I bought a kilo of green PLA and orange PLA and ABS, grey and black. So I've got plenty to play with that. Some switches for the axes, switch stops, power cable. Use my own, I won't use that one. Some more cables, bag of plastic stoppers and fittings. This one's on its own, it's not in a bag, so it's a bit strange. So there's that. And then it looks like there's all your bearings which slide along. So I'll leave all them in there, put these back, and then I'll open the next layer. So that's the first layer. Go over there. Okay, wow. What I'll do is, if I can lift that up a little bit underneath. There we go. You might be able to see a bit better there. Just check the camera. Can't see a great deal, but I'll do my best. So we've got, which is nice, SD card with a micro SD card in. Take it, all the instructions on there, your files and stuff like that. So that's nice, really handy. It looks like this is packaged, absolutely top-notch packaging. Heatsink, fan, everything I need there for that. Belts, tooth belts for the X and Y. Cable, USB cable. Obviously you can power this from your PC or you can just use an SD card. And then we've got the main board, which I can't see the version. What version this one is. I'm hoping that this is the latest one. It actually looks like the latest model. So that's quite good. So the firmware should be up to date. If it isn't, you can flash the firmware. So that's that. And then we've got the LCD screen with the controls. So you can control down, left, right. You've got your menu. That's that. And then it looks like this is one of the arms for, sits like that, top of the printer, goes back and forward. So, and this paper just comes off. Some people actually leave this on, but it looks like a pain to get off, but it's just there so it protects it. So there's them. I'll check all these parts out later on. And then there's loads of other of these parts that looks like it's for the spool holder. So put that back, put all these back, and it looks like there's one more there, guys. Put all them back. Watch out, Rob. Just put this down here. Watch out. Watch out. You alright? Yeah? What's this? This is a printer. I'm just going to lift it up so you can see, guys, instead of getting everything out. Just going to put that there like that. So, check the camera. Should be able to see that there. Oh, awkward. So, it looks like we've got the extruder. There goes some. Don't touch it because it'll fall. Leave it. Over this side, heavy. Over here. So that's the extruder. I won't open it yet, but it's all set up. Thermistors on there. That's that. In fact, I'll put it back in there. Then it looks like you've got some motors, fan, bearing guides, which these have actually been 3D printed. Leave that S on. 3D printed. Oh, looks really good quality. Yeah, play with that. Play with that. Go on, bubble wrap. Everybody likes bubble wrap. Now, yeah, I think this is the latest model. There's different versions. This has been 3D printed, which is, you can always make your own ones of these if you want. So there's two of those, some rods. These are the rods where it slides back and forward. And then you've got your threaded rods, which is these ones here. Proper lead screws, not just a bolt. As you can see, they're proper lead screws. And then a bag of fittings for cables and things. That's a power supply, and then there's these motors. They look quite awkward to get out. Don't think I can get that out without tipping it upside down. But in there good. One thing I can say is packaging is really good. So it's been sent. There's the motors. Look like decent quality motors. There's your coupling, which is like a spring to take out any misalignment. Try to get these things aligned the best I can. There's the Z motor. Yeah, and there's 4 of those, and that's it. That's it, guys. So what I'm going to do now is stop the video. And then I'll do another one, assembling it the best I can. It might be a bit of time lapse because it's going to take a while. The recommended day. I'll probably take a couple of days because I won't have all day to do it with work and things. And I want to check things out a bit more, and I'll do a bit of time lapse and a bit of a normal video, and then at the end of it, hopefully, if everything goes good, I can do a few prints, and I want to be able to print things out for my quad and make a few bits and pieces, some tool holders and things like that. Okay, what I've done is I've laid everything out. So this is it. This is everything you get in the box, apart from some instructions and a bit of filament. So that's pretty much everything, I think. I've took all the plastic, all the paper off the plastics, which took me about an hour, which is a pain in the neck. But everything's laid out there. You can see heat plate, power supply, all the cables, all the screws. I've double checked everything with the instructions. So that's everything. What we'll do now is we'll start putting it together. Okay, guys, going to go over a few things of what I've printed out with the new printer. I've had this printer for about a week now, so it's all running. I'm just going to go through the things I printed out which I made mistakes from first. First of all, I printed out a front of the printer stable base. Goes on the front. I stopped it halfway through. It was printing fine, but I stopped it halfway through because of it was the wrong size. This is an i6, I think it is, and I wanted the A6, and I wanted the A8. So there's the original one I've done afterwards. You can see it's smaller. My fault, so that one just bin. And I printed this one out. Next, turns out perfect. I can't fault it at all. Really good quality. So happy with that. Next thing I printed out was a couple of brackets for goes at the back, just to make the corner stable on the platforms. Got to put them on. Do another video putting all these on. Next thing I printed out was this fan blower. Yeah, that's perfect. Put that on. And then I printed out some of these clips, which goes in the corners of the bed, so you can put some glass on. Bought myself some glass. It's only about £5, and it sits in the corners underneath, just like that. So you don't need to have clips. You just position these, put them on sometime. Next thing I printed out is some of these blocks go underneath the rods, threaded rods go that way, and you're supposed to screw it to the bench, but I'll just pack it because it's on a nice bench, but that's what they're for. Put 2 of those out. Next I printed out this is a Z axis switch. You can see I just tapped it out, and I used just a normal tap for whatever bolt you're using, and I just use Allen key, and it worked out really good. That's solid. They're solid. They're solid. This is 20% infill. It's all hollow, honeycomb, just like that. Actually, that's more honeycomb, so that's 10%. That's 20. These are the same. These are the same, hollow. And the final thing, so I've printed them out. Some more of these cable trays. Also 4 of these. Actually printed 5 out. What they are is just adjuster underneath the bed. So I can adjust the bed without Allen key. A wing that goes in there, straight on. Printed the extra one in case I lose one or break one. That was a failed attempt at something. And a couple of clips, little small clips for things. Okay. And the last thing I printed, this is all done in a week, is chain for the X and Y. Yeah. That's really good, nice and smooth. I do a bit of filing. What I just used was a bit of sanding, just an emery board, and take up any light bits. That's how I do it, and then I just give it plenty of movement till it becomes free. So I printed that out. That's for the X, this is for the Y. This is complete. Ends. So it all works exactly the same, nice and smooth. Looking forward to putting this on, do another video, all assembled. This is printed, all of this is in low resolution, like 0.15 I think it is, 0.15. But the quality is really high. Okay guys, that's all I've done so far. I'm printing a few more parts out, and then I'll put it all on when I've done everything. Okay guys. This is it, it's finished. Final stages, I've got a few more things to do. So recap, I've gone through the unboxing, a little bit of setup, not too much, didn't have the time to do a great deal. But this is the final product. I've printed quite a few things out. I've had this for about 3 weeks. In that time I've done loads of things, as you can see, all the orange parts you can see. I'm going to talk about it in a minute, but I've also got a box of things I've printed out, and we'll have a little talk about that. So we'll have a look at the printer first. What I've done then, as you can see, I've put a belt tensioner on for this axis. It's just really handy. I would say this is one of the first things you might want to consider doing. Then I've got a brace to stabilise any movement. It moves back and forward this way. Next thing I put on a button, just like a filament, so you can take the filament out because it hits your thumb. Just a Allen key bolt, so that's a really useful thing. Then I went off with the other axes, so I adjusted this one. The only negative part about it I can see is you lose a little bit when it moves this way, but it's not too bad. You might need to cut your belt down a little bit, your cable ties. So I'd say that's a must. This one and this axis, X and Y. The cable holder trays I put on, these work really nice and they look really good as well, and it keeps the cables nice and tidy. Got a little filament cleaner there which you just put oil on, 3-in-1 oil. That works nice. As you can see, all the simple things which everyone's going to do. So this has took me about 2 to 3 weeks to get to this stage. Really important, these things, so you can see them. So at night time with dim lights you can't really see where your buttons are. Put the little bezel on, little SD card holder, another SD card holder this side. These are all taken off Thingiverse. A lot of them taken off Thingiverse. You might need to adjust all to yourself. Tinkercad I use, but there's different types of AutoCAD programs you can use to make it fit your system. Spool holder. I've just finished this last night actually. Done this myself, just made my own up because I didn't like the ones what were around, and it's just 2 clamps, just clamp on with wing nuts and 2 cones, and the cones go down to 20mm, 25mm up to about, I think that's about 60mm. So it fits all my different size spools. And the bar, I just use a piece of bar, put a bit of tape on the end so it acts like a brake, so it moves but slowly, just enough tension so it keeps it not spinning too much. See how it just stops. Otherwise if you have it too loose it'll just keep spinning and all your reels will just move across, all your filament will move across and get tangled up. So other things I put on then, I'll move across quick. I put a thermometer on, obviously this colour, I decided to use that colour because it matches that and it worked out really good. Printed this out, altered a little bit for myself just so it fit there, works great for testing the bed temperature and also the controls and the motherboard. On this side I've got a little bracket to hold me nozzles, different nozzles and different sizes going there. A couple of these end clamps, didn't like the original ones, so I just popped them on. Over this side I've got SD card reader. Normally put the SD card in to the motherboard at this side, but I decided to encase all that, and if I move across you might be able to see it a little bit closer. So as you can see down that side, normally the SD card you push it and get in and out. Bought one of these extensions, so now I just put my SD card, my micro SD card in there, little slot for them, bolted it straight under here. It was designed to fit on the top, but I've changed it a little bit. Now as you can see down this side, I've done quite a bit of work actually. I've got 2 MOSFETs on, one MOSFET here, and the other one's at the bottom there, if you can just see. Now that one's for the bed, that one's for the hot end. Yeah. Now before I'd add these MOSFETs on, the board used to get really hot. The MOSFETs on the board, which is just down here, get really hot, talking about like 50 degrees, 60 degrees, and that's hence I put that little fan on. Bearing in mind the fan was going a bit too fast and it was blowing too cold air in, and the air was blowing around here causing turbulence and stuff, so I put a filter on the back this just moves in and out on a clip. And I just printed that out. You can't really see. I'll just try to get over so just try to move so you can see what I mean. So I've got the tripod here. You might have to see it. Yeah. So I've done that. And then obviously I've put all the cables in as much as I could to keep it nice and neat. I think I've done a quite neat job. But these MOSFETs, definitely get these. I got these from Banggood, £6–7. So I got 2 of those. And it means that's taking all the stress off the board. And the power supply is doing all the work like it should. So, nice and neat. I actually only done that one last night. There's actually two spaces, so I could move it up there. We already put that one on. Put the bed one on first, so I might change it and put it up here where you can keep an eye on it and check the temperature of the heatsink. But I'll probably just leave it. Down here I've got the Z-axis adjustment. Put that on pretty straight away. That's really important to keep that, and that one works really good. You've got coarse adjustment and fine adjustment. That's all I've done for that really. The other cable tray for the other axis down here. I had to do a bit of fiddling with this one because it used to catch just in here. I just took a file and just filed it. Also where the cable excuse me, where the cables go through the bottom, I had to get my Dremel and just make a little hole for that to go in. The hot end, I put some insulation on. Don't know if you can see that. Well, I'll just move this tripod down. Yeah, the hot end I've had to put some insulation on. So I just bought some of these pads which you just get. I just use some tape to go around for that. A heat resistant tape. Caps on tape. And that's it really. I've gone back to my original fan because I find this one works better for me, even though I bought the circular one. And I think that's about it really. Just put this tripod back up. I haven't done a great deal more than that. Some of the things I've printed out, let me just put this so I can zoom in and show you. Some of the things I've printed out on there are some brackets. Actually this blue PLA is luminous, so it glows in the night time, which is, I didn't know that, but it's quite nice. So I'll print a few brackets out, and this thing here is a bracket I designed for to hold a camera for me RC plane. That one. Some brackets I printed out. They've worked out really nice. That's just a pin to cut off. A couple of those. There's the end for the heater, which I'm not really going to use. Some cap brackets for the door. One there. Another one there. These are all in PLA. I've done some ABS and various things in there. I'm not going to go over. There's some brackets for which actually go on there for the glass, which I haven't got round to putting some glass on yet. Some of these daft little clips for holding when you open your bag of nuts or something and just clamps it on. Loads of things for RC use. And I've printed an orange one of those out, but I quite like white, so I'm going to go with white and orange. So there's a few things there printed out. Also a couple of just signs. Spider-Man, Punisher. Just trying the different filaments out. These are all PLA. I've also printed out one of those things. Worked out really good. I've done a green one, and I've also done one in ABS as well. And the one this is the first one I've done. The latest one I've put a little bungee cord on and changed a few little things, but works fine. And other than that, I've done a couple of, there's a Batman bust which I think is really nice. That's my first ABS print, and it worked out pretty good. What I want to do with this is I want to use some acetone vapor and just see if I can get it. I want to sand it off first, and so there's that. And then I've done a group bust. I think you can see that. That's turned out really nice. Although this was done at 0.6, I think. 0.6. Wasn't the highest resolution anyway, so it's quite low resolution, but it's turned out really good. Need to a bit of sanding, and I'm going to just repaint it again. This is in PLA, golden colour. It's supposed to be gold there, but it's more like a brown, which I like. So that's it. That's some of the things I've printed. What I'm going to be doing next, in the next video, is some of these. Oh yeah, a few tools I use just to operate this printer, which I found useful. Some side cutters, tweezers for picking up things off the bed. Got printed one of these dial gauges out. Well, I printed the plastic thing out. I find it easy just to use paper, and I've got my blue tape. Tried some Pritt stick, messy, don't like it. And also a ruler and a spirit level there. So they're the things I use. Later on I want to be changing the bed to, oh yeah, I've got some insulation coming to underneath so I can get the bed temperature. I can get it up to 200 degrees, which is great. Sorry, I can get the bed to 200 degrees, 198 or something like that, but it's not bad. So if I put some insulation on, I should have to increase that a little bit more. So I'm going to put some glass on, and I'll just show you some of the glass I bought. I got some of this glass from Wellman for 3D printers. It's just a normal sheet of glass. I think it's tempered, but I don't think it's anything special. That is the reason I bought this, because it's the right size. Fits pretty much, leaving about 2mm gap all the way around. So I'm going to use that. I actually bought two by mistake, so I've got another one there. So it's good in a way, because while one's cooling, and it's mainly for ABS really, while one's cooling I can have the printer going again. So I hope you like this video. Just before, oh sorry, one other thing I forgot to mention. I'll just turn it on so you can see it working. You can hear the fan going at the back. This is all stock, nothing's changed. I haven't got any different firmwares. It's just all standard stuff. I've got a light I put on, you can see there. So the one you can see there. See better at night time. It's just a fish tank light. You can see it there. Just going through the different ones. So it's just a little light, and it just goes into, wired into the bottom. I've also put a fan on there. This thing is cold now. It's like 20 degrees, even if it's running for like 10 hours. So I definitely recommend popping a little fan on there and just blowing out. I've got a bit of wiring to tidy up, and I've got a few more frame braces to do. But as you can see, it looks quite nice. Pretty happy with it all. And what I'm going to do next, in the next video, because this is going to be like video 2 add-on, is I'm going to put one of these sensors on. So this is going to be a sensor for the y-axis. So I'll be replacing this lot with this. Don't know whether I need to update the firmware. I've been told I need to update the firmware to Skynet. Don't know, but that's, I'll just wait to see. got myself some ABS slurry mixed up. That works, and it's fantastic. That it's the only thing I can get to work, but it worked straight away once I used it. A couple of things I bought before I go to show you. When I bought this from Gearbest, that board, which is the same board as this, actually failed. See the board, which is the normal motherboard, version 1, I think it is 1.1. Yeah, it actually failed. I'll just open it up to show you. I was well gutted because when you buy something you expect it to work straight away. You don't really. Actually it didn't work, and what happened is I was getting a fault code on there, and it was def code for the hot end and a def code for the bed. So what was happening is, if you can see that, I'll try to show you the best I can. Here's your MOSFETs there. You've got your bed, you've got your hot end here. Bed, hot end, turn that way. Problem with these I've found, this is brand new, I've never used this one yet. I bought it because obviously that wasn't working, but because it took 2-3 weeks to this arrive, I've repaired the other one, managed to, and it's been running ever since. What I've found is, this is obviously a dual sided board, soldered here, but it's also soldered underneath the green part. If you notice, if I just move that, these things move. So as you tighten these up with screws, you can easily just dislodge it, so be very careful how you tighten it. And obviously you need to tighten it up a lot to have a good contact. So I desoldered this out, so I just got 2 pins, put 2 pins in and resoldered it, and just have a snap connector about here. So 2 wires coming out, snap connector, and I could go as tight as I wanted to the snap connector, and that fixed it. So it's not a bad board, it's just got bad designs. But apart from that, if you can fix this, it's great. So once you put the MOSFETs on, you upgrade MOSFETs. These are only signal wires, so you don't have to put a lot of tension on there. So just nip them up lightly. Or directly solder them to the board. That's my advice. And you can pick these up Gearbest, £26, anywhere else £36. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video. If you've got any questions, leave them, any comments or anything like that. Anything to do with 3D print, remember I'm brand new at this, so I've only been messing about for about 3 weeks or so. So anyhow, thanks for watching. Please like or subscribe.